Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the channel. Tonight, I want to talk about people that sell inauthentic, fake, knockoff, bootleg merchandise on places like eBay or Amazon or other selling platforms, and primarily on WhatNot, which seems to be running rampant right now, at least according to a lot of videos and sources. So I'm going to cover the whole thing here as quickly as possible. Let me start with a few points. That is rad. Vanessa's made like 8 or 9 videos. I will link them below. They tell the story of what she's been covering over the last month with people on WhatNot selling, auctioning fake goods. Everything from them just saying, hey, I'm selling Lululemon, and it's not actually authentic Lululemon. All those videos come with receipts. They come with screenshots, pictures, refunds, actual photographic side-by-side evidence showing the reals versus the fakes. There's literally no question. Then there's people on WhatNot who are creating their own merchandise, which is like taking the logo of Louis Vuitton and plastering it down the side of a tumbler, which we just did a video on this regarding the Luke Combs situation, where you can't use someone's likeness, their picture, their face without their permission. You can't use another brand's logo like Louis Vuitton or Chanel or Gucci without their permission. You cannot go create your own product. The reason that that law exists, besides the obvious, where they don't want you taking sales and money from them, a profitability standpoint, the other side is called quality of goods and guarantees. When somebody buys a Louis Vuitton purse, they expect a certain level of quality. It's why they're paying $3,000. Now, we all know you're paying for the name, but also these luxury goods creators have created products with a certain quality to them that people have come to expect. People don't expect their brand new Louis Vuitton purse to fall apart in a month, right? Because they use high-end quality merchandise and products and materials. And so when you go make a Louis Vuitton item in your basement or in your office, you can't guarantee that quality. You're not using the same materials or the same anything that they are. And somebody might buy this from you off of eBay or WhatNot and think that they're getting an authentic Louis Vuitton item, not realizing that you made it. And they get it and it falls apart, and then they are immediately mad at Louis Vuitton because they're like, oh, I bought a tumbler, a Louis Vuitton tumbler, and it fell apart. And Louis Vuitton's like, what are you talking about? We don't sell tumblers. We don't make tumblers. That's not us. And so it diminishes their name, right? And so that's the reason that brands are so strict and stringent about protecting their trademark and their brand. And I completely get that. Totally understand. Imagine if somebody emailed my clients and pretended to be Rockstarflipper and told them all this bad information and got in trouble, and they came back to me, right? It doesn't look good. It feels bad. It costs me business, costs me money. So that is sort of where they're at with it. We see it on YouTube and TikTok where people comment, they steal my profile picture and they comment with a fake name that looks like mine, but it's not mine. And they get people's information, their money, and then people come to me and go, you scammed me. I didn't scam you. I had nothing to do with that. I would never ask for money or information like that. Yet somebody else did and you fell for it and it appeared to be me, but it wasn't actually me. Do you see where I'm going with this? So that's kind of the backstory. So there are people on WhatNot, and I'm sure on other platforms, who are creating products like this. We saw it a few years back when I did a video about a Netflix show and a certain vintage seller out of like New Mexico somewhere who was literally printing Gucci shirts in the back of his store and saying, these are bootleg, these are bootleg. It's not okay. If you want to cut up your Louis Vuitton or Gucci purse and plaster it on your t-shirt and walk around with it, you can do that all day long. The problem is when you sell a product, when you financially benefit from a product, whether you make a profit or not, even if you lose money, you took in some amount of money, you cannot physically sell a product that is not authentically made by the company. And my point of reference for all of this is if a company's legal team was sitting down in front of us right now at this table and you pulled your product out and put it in front of them, would they be okay with you selling it? If the answer is no, if the answer is you wouldn't even be comfortable having them sit across the table from you, then you can't sell it. That's like a really good litmus test. Like, if you wouldn't argue it in a court of law or with the lawyers or with anybody sitting in front of you, don't sell it. Don't even attempt to sell it, right? Like, you cannot do that. If you want to make yourself a new wallet, cutting up your old purse and use it every day until it falls apart and throw it away, to your heart's content, knock yourself out. You simply can't sell the product. Somebody else was making something like, we all know the Chanel symbol, the double C, right? The C, the backward double C, making candles out of Chanel and calling it C logo candles. Okay, is that legal or illegal? Well, that's illegal, guys. So this is called confusion in the marketplace. If you replicate somebody's logo and their symbol and you call it something else, it doesn't get you off the hook because you're still copying their logo. Part of a trademark includes the graphics and the logo. If you think about some of the biggest companies in the world, FedEx, UPS, Amazon, they all have trademarked symbols. Amazon has that smiley face looking thing, right? And FedEx has that cool FedEx with the arrow that's in the middle of the end of the letters. And we all know everyone's logo. McDonald's has the golden arches, right? The biggest companies in the world. If you take the golden arches and you go out and you start a restaurant on the corner called Golden Arches Burgers, do you know what McDonald's is going to do to you? I'll give you 3 guesses. They're going to sue you into oblivion. Do you know this word, oblivion? And bonus points if you know where that phrase, what movie that phrase came from. Oblivion. Do you know this word, oblivion? Anyhow, you can't do it. So then we get to my final point, which is where people go, well, I tell my customers it's not authentic. I tell them it's not real, that I made it. It's not okay. You still can't sell it. While I applaud that you're being honest, I suppose, it still doesn't make it okay. You can't knock off a product and then go sell it to somebody simply because you told them that it's not authentic. The companies don't want you selling their products inauthentically and having it out there. It's just as bad as selling fake ones and not telling someone. You're still ripping them off and costing them money and costing them tarnish to their name in the event that someone else gets it and it falls apart. What happens if you sell it to your buddy for $100, right? And your buddy knows it's fake, but then he uses it for a little while, this fake wallet, and he goes out and he sells it and doesn't tell someone, and now they're in possession of a fake one. It's a problem, right? So this is the whole backstory of why fakes are bad, why counterfeit goods are bad. And a lot of people will argue, oh, these companies are worth so much money, we should rip them off. If it was you, you wouldn't want somebody ripping your name off. So let's fast forward to the sellers on WhatNot and eBay and other places. Typically, if a company sees something they suspect to be fake, i.e. they never made tumblers, so Louis Vuitton's going to say, that's not real because we don't make tumblers, they're going to Vero strike it on eBay, or they could send you a cease and desist, or they could just sue you. We've talked about it. The problem herein sees that WhatNot, as a live auction show, is not experiencing the same kind of control, quality control, and security parameters that a place like Amazon and eBay have in place. They will take stuff down. They will warn you. They will suspend your accounts. This is not seemingly happening on WhatNot. There are tons of people who are selling fake goods. It is a fact, guys. A fact. Beyond the videos I'm going to link for you below, I have seen it myself. I promise you. I have seen people literally post bootleg fake Gucci shirt, $40, like a $300 shirt. I've seen it. But there's nothing happening. And people are reporting it on a huge level, a huge scale. Yet these sellers are still out there having sales day after day after day. And I don't understand where the disconnect or the problem is. Now, WhatNot is not the only platform, live auction selling or otherwise, that has this problem. I've seen it on Poshmark. In fact, Vanessa mentions it on Poshmark. I've seen it on eBay. I've seen it on Amazon. I've seen people do it on Instagram. I've seen people do it live on YouTube, TikTok, you name it, I've seen it. But WhatNot is a huge platform. They're giant. And it's in my opinion that WhatNot has a responsibility to the community, especially the community of buyers that they are there to protect, to not allow sellers to sell fake goods, not to rip off their buyer pool, not to take advantage of buyers, and not to also jeopardize WhatNot's legal status, because in the event that WhatNot determines that they're not going to take sellers down for fake goods, and the companies come calling, WhatNot certainly could find themselves in some legal mumbo-jumbo trouble. Like, it's not okay. Many years ago, eBay had a bad rash of fake Louis Vuittons and purses. I'm talking 10, 15 years ago. They actually got sued. You can look this up. You can Google eBay lawsuit. I'll try to find it and link it below. And they had to come to agreements with the big luxury houses, including Louis Vuitton and fashions and big people, that this is basically how the Vero program started, that they would take a more proactive approach, and they would take items down and work actively to identify those people that were selling fake goods and to get our information and to suspend the accounts. So they did that because the big companies came to them and said, look, there's a whole bunch of fakes that we've identified, and we're going to go after these people, but you're facilitating, you're allowing this to happen. We're going to sue you as well. And eBay was like, whoa, we don't want none of that. And you can look this up. It's a little more detail to it. Of course, I'm just paraphrasing what happened, but that's the short story. And eBay made these agreements and these deals, and basically they went in on sellers and was like, you're not going to sell fake goods on our platform, which good for eBay on doing that. It's just not happening on these new platforms. And although I think they're taking steps to stop it if it's blatantly obvious, there's a lot of them that are blatantly obvious and are still on there selling. So that is sort of my take on all this fake good, inauthentic goods, counterfeit goods that's going on in the marketplace. Whether it's on eBay or whether it's on WhatNot, it seems to be leaning towards the live selling platforms. I think because those items don't sit up and just hang out there. They're up, they're live auction, they're sold, and they're gone in minutes, right? I don't know. What steps can they take? I think if people are reporting it, you have to have manual review. You have to have employees that are going through these listings and looking at them and being educated on, wow, that's an obvious fake. Bam, warn the seller. There should be maybe a 2-strike, 3-strike rule. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a better, approach, better suggestions, better, advice for these platforms. Perhaps something I can send to them and forward to them. It just seems really, really nutty to me that obvious fake goods and trademark stuff is just being allowed to slip through. Now, the last point I want to cover on this is Vanessa catches a lot of heat. Vad is rad. She catches a ton of shit in the comments and other places because people are like, well, okay, let's assume everything you're saying is true. There are people selling these fakes and knocking these companies off. Mind your business. You're just a hater. You're jealous. You're a troll. You're bashing. Guys, girls, stop. It is not bullying to call out bad behavior. It is certainly not bullying to call out illegal behavior. If people are in the marketplace and in the platform committing fraud and trademark infringement and theft and anything else we can think of, stealing stuff, stealing money, selling fake knockoff bootleg crap, we in a way are responsible for our own community because a lot of these platforms are not taking proper action, clearly, i.e. the examples I'm giving. We have to try to kind of police it ourselves. And I'm not saying anybody needs to be judge, jury, and executioner, and anybody needs to be the Gestapo police of WhatNot or any other platform. What I'm saying is we have to look out for other people. We have to look out for each other. And if I see somebody who's having active WhatNot shows over and over and over again, Rosie and Mariel, whatever your name is, and they are selling fake goods that we have proven are fake, if that is happening, I would like the people that are in those chats supporting this behavior to be aware of it so they can at least go, whoa, I didn't know I was buying fake goods. And if you've purchased fake goods, it's okay to purchase fake goods so long as you don't resell the item and as long as you report those sellers and don't defend them. It is not bullying or jealousy. Nobody's jealous or trying to get their connections. I don't want their fake goods. I have my own stuff that's authentic. I don't want their money that they've made off of these fake goods. I could care less. And I'm not waking up trying to put them in jail. I want them to stop doing what they're doing. Same as Vanessa. Stop ruining the community and the look for the rest of us. Because believe it or not, outside of the normal reseller community and the circles that we all run in, if you sell fake goods and somebody else hears about it and they go tell 3 of their friends who tell 3 of their friends that, hey, there's fake goods on WhatNot and eBay, guess what those people aren't going to do? They're not going to come back and shop. They're going to go right to Amazon or wherever they need to go. And so those bad behaviors affect all of us, whether it's on WhatNot or eBay or whatever other platform. Those people will talk, and talking and word of mouth is the fastest way to spread a bad message as well as it is to spread a good message. So keep that in mind. The next time you want to defend one of these sellers and go, oh, it's no big deal, mind your business, it is my business. And it's your business and Vad's business and every other person's business who's a seller here. So just please remember that, guys. Nobody's bullying anybody. Take that trash out where it belongs. Okay, I think I covered everything. I'll link the videos down below. I'll try to find that lawsuit link and link that as well as if I can. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again tomorrow.